The Fredericksburg area is very interested in being green, and on this week's edition, we're going to tell you about a new service that will help you do just that, FXBG Compost. Before we start the episode, I want to recognize our sponsor, Shore United Bank. Shore will be there to help guide your financial journey every step of the way. Visit them downtown or at Harrison Crossing. And now, onto this week's episode. Today I'm with Kat Carter and James Leonard, the owners of FXBG Compost. We're at the Fredericksburg Food Cooperative. We'll explain why in a little bit. James and Kat, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
So tell us about FXBG Compost, this new business you started. So tell us about it.
Yeah. You want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So essentially what we are a subscription-based food waste pickup service. We're partnered with a couple local community organizations to try and better manage our food waste in this community.
So it's a subscription-based service, right? So how does it work, someone who's interested in doing this?
Yeah, so it's super easy. You sign up on our website and you can choose either weekly pickups or bi-weekly pickups, and then we deliver these cute little buckets to you, and you put your food scraps in it, and then on your pickup day you put it on your porch. We come pick it up and leave you a clean bucket, and then we'll take that to Rappahannock Education Farm, where we actually use it to make compost for the farm.
So for people that aren't familiar, tell them what compost is.
Yeah, so compost, you can think of it as like a superfood for the soil. It's basically super nutrient dense, and you can add it into your soil, and it does all sorts of good things. So it improves the soil structure, it helps retain moisture, which is great for farming. It also puts in key nutrients, so phosphorus and nitrogen, which are some of those big agricultural inputs. And it's home to tons of microorganisms, bacteria, fungus that promote healthy soil and healthy growth.
And tell people again the kinds of things that you can put into the bucket.
Yeah, almost anything. So it's all of your produce scraps. You can do egg shells, you could do full eggs. We do accept meat and dairy. We just ask that you chop those up. The smaller it is, the happier the bacteria is, and the easier it is to make that compost. But basically, if you're eating it, you can put it in the bucket. What we don't accept are things like packaging, so like your bamboo forks or spoons. That's a little bit too big for us to compost, but anything that you'd be eating, you can put in the bucket.
And then how does Rappahannock Education Farm use it?
Yeah, so they make the compost. We make the compost at the farm, and then they're actually putting it on that produce. So all of those great benefits are being reinvested into that community farm and then used to grow produce that feeds our neighbors in need.
So you both have full-time jobs. So tell us a little bit about that, and then how the idea to start FXBG Compost came about.
Yeah.
So I'm a chiropractor over at the VA. I grew up in the area originally, but as we were opening that new facility, I had an opportunity to move back to the area. And got to bring Catherine along with me. Catherine's the development director over at the Friends of the Rappahannock. So moving back to the area, pretty quickly we were just impressed with the initiatives within the community to just kind of solve its own problems. You look at organizations like the food co-op we're at right now, Rappahannock Education Farms, Downtown Greens, Brayhead Farms. You look at like all of these local organizations. They're just kind of built on this idea of finding a problem and fixing it. So when we came here, we were looking for an opportunity or a way to better manage our food waste. We've had a compost service very similar to this in previous places where we lived. And we just said, you know what? Why don't we just go ahead and launch it and build it and see if we can solve this problem locally? As we started to sort of explore that idea, we found partners like the co-op and Rappahannock Education Farm. And now we're up and running and collecting food waste.
And it's for the city of Fredericksburg only, is that right? 22401?
Yeah.
Is that right? And are there any plans to maybe expand that at some point?
Yeah, lots of plans to expand as we grow. We want to have a real natural growth cycle with this thing. These businesses really need high density in small locations. They need to be community rooted in order to survive and really thrive, kind of like a natural ecosystem themselves. So we're trying to get it kickstarted in the 22401 area code for right now. But we are hoping as we continue to grow, we'll be able to expand, looking at commercial partners in the community, and also looking to expand into other area codes as we can.
And then there's a couple of you have two different options for frequency, right? So tell people what those are and then what the cost of those are.
Yeah, so we've got the bi-weekly pickup, so every other week, and that's $29 a month, or the every week pickup is $39 a month. And we're hoping to add a drop-off location here at the food co-op, so for a reduced fee, people could bring their compost here, drop it off do their grocery shopping, and then we would pick up from here. So that'll be launched hopefully in the next few months.
Okay, and that's kind of why we're at the Fredericksburg Food Cooperative, right? You have a good partnership with them.
Yeah, I think the thing that I really love about this sort of premise is it empowers people to reduce their household waste and be more environmentally friendly, but it also really empowers them to contribute to a circular food system. And the co-op is a huge piece of that, right? So we want to grow our food sustainably, and then we want to be really mindful of that consumption, and that's what the co-op is doing. FXBG Compost takes it that next step in the cycle and returns that food waste back to the soil to then grow again.
Okay, and then I guess just last question, if people are interested, how can they find out more information? How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so they can check out our website, fxbgcompost.com, shoot us an email at info@fxbgcompost.com, and you'll hear back from James or I, because that's the whole team.
We're here.
Yeah, and you just started it just in the past couple months.
Yeah, I think the last month actually, we just kind of kicked off, so we're excited to see how it grows.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. It's a really exciting idea. It's a great idea for the community, so wish you a lot of luck with it, and appreciate y'all joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, Bill.
Thanks for having us.
Okay. All right, and thanks to the Food Cooperative for hosting us today.
Absolutely.
All right, so that'll do it for this week's edition. We appreciate you watching. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter at fredericksburgfreepress.com and also our YouTube site, and we'll keep you up to date on business happenings here in the Fredericksburg region. We'll see you next week. And thanks again to our sponsor, Shore United Bank.